Harry, I took care of it. Welcome in to the Bro Force Squad podcast, where we are just a bunch of bros drinking beer and talking movies. This is our 98th episode, the 2020 movie preview show. I am your host, the Mayor, Jeff Hornacek, and before we get into the movie discussion, let's go around and meet the fellow bros with me. As always, we go into the lab to the mad scientist, Brian Banner. Now, Banner, what's one invention of yours that you finally hope to complete in the year 2020?
So I've been working on this idea, and it's to drink beer faster. But it's while you're on the golf course. So you have a golf tee, right?
We did this on the last
episode.
Then
you can also open your beer to shotgun it better. It's like a multi-tool kind of thing. Patent pending, obviously.
Patent pending, right. So was this at all dissimilar from what you said on episode 97?
Could that one fly?
Probably not. So we're just going to add a different wrinkle every time.
Yeah, this can fly.
Okay.
Like
Great.
You don't fly in it, it just flies itself.
Got it. Makes total sense. All right, Geiger, the enforcer in the paint, Matt Geiger, we go to you.
Yeah.
What is one restaurant that you finally think you can get that lifetime ban from in the year 2020?
I'm hoping it's Dick's Last Resort because they'll think I'm too crude to be there. Because if I'm going to get kicked out of something, I want to get kicked out of a restaurant where basically their whole marketing campaign is that their waiters are complete dicks. So if I can be even more of a dick than any of them and get kicked out of there, I would have completed my life's destiny and brought balance back to the Force.
It'd be really funny if you go in and you're huge assholes to them, and then when they kick you out, you're like, I actually didn't even know that was like your shtick, that you guys were douchebags. I'm just angry. I wasn't even trying to play along.
It's kind of a plug. If you've never been there, it's actually kind of a cool place to go.
I've only
heard
of
Chicago called Edda Bevics that does the same thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like in a weird way, it's a lot of fun just to like.
Oh yeah.
Like have somebody talk shit to you and you talk shit back, but then they also like serve you. You're like, hey, you're being an asshole, but like I really do need that ketchup.
It's awesome.
Well, as a waiter, it's great because if you're having a bad day, you're like, I'm actually supposed to be a dick to the people I'm about to serve.
Yeah. Wait, do you have a bad day by being nice?
Probably. Yeah. If you're having like a good day, then it's still fun. It's a win-win situation. All right. If you have not listened to our show before, or even if you have, we start every episode off with the most important thing in any bro's life, and that is chest day. So today we are doing What is Tradition. You can go listen to, I guess this is our probably third movie preview show since our pod originally started in September. So we're going to go through the list of movies for 2020 and break them down into three categories and then throw out some honorable mentions. Those three categories are our most anticipated movie of the year, a biggest sleeper movie, which is one that we think is kind of flying under the radar or not really talked about, our biggest flop of the year, which can be a movie that's either going to bomb critically or at the box office, and then honorable mentions, just anything left that we want to talk about. And it does bear mentioning our legal counsel, Ronnie Cycli, could not be on the pod tonight, but he did Force Ghost send in his picks to me as well. So the best part about this, if you go listen to episode 97, we do our 2019 year in review, and we go back over these picks from the previous year, and we're always very wrong on probably, what would you say, 70% of them?
Hey, I've hit every year on sleeper movie.
That's true. Geiger had some good ones last year, but he was very right about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But
it's kind of a layup, but yeah.
That's true. But it's just interesting to see how these picks look by the end of the year. So let's get it started with our most anticipated movies of 2020. Banner, we'll send it in the lab, and I'll let you go first. This can be a movie or movies that you are just very, very excited for.
So I've got two here. One, just because it is so far up my alley, it's not even funny. And that's Jungle Cruise with Emily Blunt and The Rock. I mean, I love the ride at Disneyland.
God, it looks terrible.
The trailer looks so bad, though.
But it looks like a mix of like, what did I write down? It was like Pirates of the Caribbean mixed with like Brendan Fraser's Mummy, and then obviously you have some bitches in it.
Speak to why that is, because Pirates of the Caribbean was a ride at Disney World, and so is this, right?
Yep, and it worked. You know what's funny though is that it doesn't always work because they did a Haunted Mansion movie with Eddie Murphy in it, and it was
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
god awful.
When's the Teacup movie coming?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that comes every night that I'm just hammered drunk.
And the ceiling is spinning.
And
You're like,
and I have the
stop.
ceiling fan on, and it's not spinning, but everything else is. No, I mean it's right up my alley. I think it's gonna be fun. I don't think the plot is gonna make any sense. I think it's just gonna be a silly movie. It's Jumanji. It's Disney's version of Jumanji.
I've said this before on the pod, and Geiger always laughs because it just sounds like a complete insult. But I mean, the movie's harmless.
Yeah.
The thing is, The Rock is in Jumanji and this. Like, I love The Rock, man. I'm a WWE guy, but can't we like give someone else some food?
No, he needs all the money.
No.
I like Emily Blunt a
Harmless.
lot. Emily Blunt is in another movie this year that I'm very, very much looking forward to that I'll talk about here in a second.
But on typecasting, like after a while, it's like, okay, he's a cruise ship captain. Where does he get all this time to work out? Because he's jacked in it. Like he needs to like not work out as hard if he's going to be in these.
That was the problem with Rampage. We're supposed to believe he's like a zoologist. I'm like, dude, the guy could deadlift 650 pounds.
Yeah, he's bigger than the fucking gorillas.
He's bigger than the cruise ship. Is the cruise just him doing breaststroke and everyone's on his back? Not a bad pick. I think it will not exceed expectations, but it definitely won't be awful.
That's one of your most. That's what we're kicking off 2020 with.
All right, I'll give you one. I'll give you another one that I'm very, very excited about, and that's Death on the Nile.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too. Let's go. So this is the sequel to Murder on the Orient Express. Let's go over the cast list. Kenneth Branagh obviously returns as Clouseau. We have Gal Gadot, Armie Hammer, Letitia Wright, who is Shuri from Black Panther, and a guy who I've always liked and is kind of making his return to Hollywood, Russell Brand, is in the movie.
Yeah.
So I liked Murder on the Orient Express, and this that was one of my two that I'm very, very excited for. So good segue there, Banner.
Yeah, I thought that the first one was fantastic, and I am very excited because these are kind of like anthologies, you know, like I don't see it building on the other one, which I think is going to be fresh to have multiple movies that don't build on each other.
Well, at the end of Murder on the Orient Express, he gets the telegram to come investigate this murder. And it's also just smart marketing. It's a murder mystery, and it comes out October 9th, so right around Halloween.
It's like somebody listened to our previous show.
Huh, interesting. Geiger has gone on so many rants about marketing that they're finally starting to take notice.
Damn right.
All right, Matt, what's your most anticipated movie of 2020?
I got two. The first one, since I read the show notes, I just really want to talk about because I'm probably more excited about this movie than any, and that's Top Gun Maverick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm extremely excited about this. Even though Miles Teller's in it, I think me and him, before I go into the movie, we can just shake hands. We both agree that he's not as good an actor as he thinks he is, and we just go in and enjoy the film. And I think this is actually a good role for him because he was really good as Reed Richards. I didn't mind him in that. He didn't take himself too seriously in that, though.
He's a good actor. I would
Sorry,
never
I'm
want
in
to.
trouble.
No, I can hear you. I would just never want to have drinks with him in person.
So that's my first one, and that's going to be, I think, the movie of the summer, just like it was in 85 or 86, I believe, whenever it came out. My second one, and I'm really surprised at this because it's a sci-fi film that comes out in December called Dune. And it's a remake, but after looking at the cast, Josh Brolin, Oscar Isaac, Jason Momoa, Dave Bautista, Javier Bardem. Fuck me. Okay, I'll go see that.
Rebecca Ferguson, Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya, and directed by Denis.
I love Zendaya.
Denis Villeneuve, who did Arrival, Prisoners, Sicario, and then even though Matt and I hated this movie, people loved it in Blade Runner 2049.
And also, the score is done by none other than Hans Zimmer. Banner has a poster of him over his wall. He looked at Hans Zimmer when he climaxed to make his daughter, I believe. Look at that poster.
Rumor has it, yeah.
It is a remake.
How the legend goes.
The original Dune has like a cult following, so there's like a built-in audience for this thing.
It does.
Since there's no Star Wars this year, that's like the big Christmas release.
So I was reading about it. So this is like the third time they're redoing it, which is fine. A Star is Born was that way too. The last time they redid it, I guess it kind of left fans wanting more. But with this cast, man, especially it just sounds like a sci-fi thriller. Now, if we get Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista shirtless fighting in the desert, I'm fucking so in on this. I'm very anticipated because that's like Drax and Aquaman fucking fighting. I'll go pay to see that. Absolutely.
Yeah. And Momoa turned down Drax, so it's Drax and then the guy who could have been Drax.
Exactly.
Beating the shit out of each other in the desert. All right, I have mine and Cycles. I'll go with Cycles first. Second year in a row, he's gone with a Jordan Peele film, and this year it is the spiritual sequel to Candyman, with the same title. It's plot synopsis so far on IMDb just says spiritual sequel to the 1992 horror film that returns to the now gentrified Chicago neighborhood where the legend began. I have not seen the original Candyman. Cycly has, and he says it is a total mindfuck. And knowing that Jordan Peele, he's not directing it, but he wrote the script to this, his third screenplay after Get Out and Us. I mean, Jordan Peele has not given me a reason to doubt him, so this one has me pretty excited. I would imagine we'll get some promotional materials in the next couple months. Most of the stuff, if we haven't seen anything for it, like even a poster, you have to assume we'll get it pretty soon, right? Like maybe Super Bowl weekend, we'll get a Candyman teaser or something.
I would. Yeah,
Yeah.
Was it February? You said. Sorry, I was looking.
I believe so. Yeah, that's kind of where Jordan Peele does his work, right? In February.
Yeah.
Wikipedia has Candyman coming out in June.
Well,
But
that's probably correct then.
I don't know.
But-
I mean, I don't know
but
if that's correct or not. But
Super
it doesn't.
Bowl's in
Either way, it
February,
doesn't
so-
make sense because it should come out in October.
This is true. Anyway, Cycly, again, doubling down on Jordan Peele. That'll probably look good at the end of the year. My most anticipated movie, kind of an easy pick, but I know Geiger has soured a little bit on Christopher Nolan over the years. I'm going with Tenet, which is a palindrome, meaning it's spelled the same way forwards and backwards, assuming that will tie into the plot. But this is the movie that we really know hardly anything about, even though we got a trailer. And it stars Robert Pattinson and John David Washington, Denzel's son, who is in, I believe, Ballers and then Black Klansman. Trailer looks like a total mindfuck, and people are saying that Christopher Nolan is going to be back on top after this. So still don't know much more about it, but the trailer was very intriguing. And of course, Sir Michael Caine shows back up in it as well. He's in every Christopher Nolan movie I think that I've ever seen. Tenet.
Wonder how many naked photos of Christopher Nolan he has or something. Where it just has to be in every movie now.
So, Chris, I don't want to leak these. Don't force my hand. Just give me a small speaking part and we'll call it bygones. All right. Biggest sleeper movies of 2020. Geiger, you go first. This is a movie that is kind of flying under the radar, but we think could make some big waves.
Two of them again. One coming out in January. I'm going to call this a sleeper. The Gentleman with McConaughey, Charlie Hunnam, Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie's fucking due for a good film, guys. I mean, his last two haven't been very well, and he's a great fucking director, and I like a lot of his
Aladdin.
movies.
It was fine.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's not a Guy
like
Ritchie
King Arthur. Now, I think this will maybe even get, dare I say, some like Academy Award buzz. Maybe I think it would have to be at this Oscars though. However, I think this is going to be a very well done, kind of in the realm of maybe not Goodfellas, but kind of Casino, where people kind of like, I'm not really sure if it's like a mob movie. I've seen the trailer, or more of kind of like just an Irish gangster movie. But I'm very intrigued in this. And you know I wave the flag for Charlie Hunnam on this pod while you guys fucking step on his grave that he dug himself after Sons of Anarchy. But he's a very good actor. I do enjoy him, especially when he's in a role as a Brit or someone from overseas. I think that plays to his power more than being an American. And Matthew McConaughey hasn't done anything for a while, and he's fucking due too for a Lincoln Lawyer type performance. So that's one. The other one I think you guys might be surprised about, but Morbius.
Ugh.
Oh my god, I'm actually thinking this is going to
Just
be.
give up the Leto bandwagon, dude. It's over.
Dude. It's my
You
turn
trust
to talk right
you
now.
trust Sony with a superhero movie?
First off, yes, because it's a Marvel movie, but it's done by Sony, so it'll be darker. And I looked under the genre. It's under drama thriller. So it's not like a rom-com like Venom. And Leto has a lot to prove. After I thought he did a fine job, it was more directing and fucking Warner Brothers space why he didn't do well as a Joker. And he is a fucking fantastic actor. I think this will be a good sleeper movie. I think it will turn out to be pretty good. I'm not saying it's going to be the greatest fucking superhero movie of the year, but it's going to be fine.
As far as sleeper picks go, that kind of fits it to a T, right? No one's really talking about it, but it's a comic book property.
Radar, with all the DC shit, Marvel, and New Mutants coming out, I think this one will be a pleasant surprise.
Interesting. All right, Maynard, how about you? Biggest sleeper movie of 2020?
All right, so we all know I've gotten this one right the last 2 years.
Yeah, this is your category. It's about to be renamed after you if you get it right again.
Yeah, but I'm going ballsy here, okay? Because, again, I am picking a movie that looks terrible, and I don't think any of us want it. That's Mulan.
I think it looks good from the trailer.
A lot of people don't like it. It doesn't. The newest trailer does make it look better, but no singing, no songs.
True.
In it, I think that
no Mushu.
No Mushu.
Which I think maybe people don't like Mushu. I don't know how well he's aged.
Yeah, I don't know what the caliber on Mushus are right now. But again, it has a lot to prove. This is another live action one. This is the first action one that we have, right?
Yeah.
So
I kind of like that there's no songs.
You hold your tongue, sir.
Well, in the trailer, though, I did love this when it really fucking. I mean, we're all gonna miss "I'll Make a Man Out of You." Like that goes really fucking hard in the paint. But in the trailer, they kept the score for "Who Is That Girl I See," and it goes pretty hard. Like just the soundtrack to it, for the instrumental.
I think that it's going to surprise us. I think it's going to be a top 2 movie of the year box office. No, top 3 movie box office wise this year.
Wow.
Do you think it has a shot to be? Well, dude, it's gonna murder in China.
That's true. I was about to think of I'm the stupid American. There are other people in this world that see movies. That is correct. Sorry. Go ahead.
Maynard, do you think it has a chance to be the best Disney live action movie yet?
Yeah, I do. I think this is a story that hasn't been tread over and over and over and over again. To an extent, I think that again, it's the first one that's live action. So you've got all the bros and the guys out there that have been taking their wives to these princess movies. They're finally going to get something out of it. They're blowing shit up. That'll be fun.
That's true.
So I think it has a lot going for it other than, I don't know. I wasn't excited about this movie.
I mean, it's not like an impossible list to top the Disney live actions, but there are some respectable entries on it. So
what is the best Disney live action film? I guess we should answer that one first.
Maybe Aladdin, Cinderella.
Probably Aladdin.
Depending how you feel about Jungle Book. I would say Aladdin.
I think it's Aladdin.
We liked Aladdin a lot, surprisingly.
I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was but then I had to ask myself the question, what is the best one? So I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not like an impossible list to get to the top of, but you would have to be a decent movie to do it.
But there are starting to be quite a few movies in there. I mean, you've got both the 2 Alice in Wonderlands. Do we count Maleficent in these?
Yeah, I would count those.
So you have the I haven't actually seen either one of those, but I hear good things.
I haven't heard anything about the second one. Did that even come out? That probably did. We just totally missed it.
Yeah, it came out this year. I mean, I had Angelina Jolie, so all I could see were lips, and I was like, I'm good.
Had Michelle Pfeiffer, who Geiger and I are still crushing on.
Yeah.
All right. I like Mulan as a pick, man. I think and box office wise, definitely don't sleep on it there. It's going to do gangbusters. Cycly did not send over a sleeper movie. That's one that he missed, but I'll give you mine. It is a Netflix original movie called The Devil All the Time. Check out the fucking cast for this thing. Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, Chris Evans, and Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise. This is a psychological movie about the traumatic aftermath of World War II And Banner, it is based on a book, a novel of the same name by Donald Ray Pollock that is acclaimed. Devil all the
Interesting.
time. Tom Holland, Pattinson. Pattinson is fucking gonna be white hot.
Okay, can we bring up
Whose
something? Last
dick
year was
is
the
he
year of the
sucking?
doc. Is 2020 the year of Robert Pattinson, where we're just like, we're going to be thinking of him as an A-list actor and actually be excited for the Batman in 2021? Because I
Yeah,
think that
dude.
might happen.
That's the second time I've already mentioned him in 2 categories. He's in Tenet also. He's gonna get
With
so much
great
pussy.
directors and great cast around him.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had the McConaughey Assance or whatever. We've had the Kiana Assance. Is this about to be the
Pattinson?
Robert Pattinson Assance?
Well, Pattinson, it's kind of lending itself to just Pattinsons. Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
It's the Robert Pattinsons, bro.
I mean, I'm asking a serious question. I mean, he's in all these movies that appear to be they're set up for success, and he's right in the dead center of all of them.
And he's all over this fucking episode. Wait till our Do You Even Lift bra at the end.
What was the over under of him getting mentioned?
I think Vegas had it at like 4.5. We've crushed it already.
God.
All right. Anything else before we move on to my favorite category, biggest flops?
I'm ready for biggest
All
flops.
right. Let's fucking get it. All right. Bring out the pitchforks and torches. Biggest flop movies of 2020. Geiger, since you're the enforcer, I gotta let you go first. Rough somebody up here.
So I have 3 of them. The first one, I think this is the first time this has ever been done in Broforce Squad history. Now, in 2019, I picked a movie that was my most anticipated or my biggest sleeper, but I'm going to pick it as my biggest flop because it got pushed back because of the animation.
Because the mouth breathers wanted it edited. Yeah, Cycle put that.
That's never happened before.
Cycle said Sonic the Hedgehog, so that's 2 of us on that one.
I have a good reason for it. I like to come up with math for some of this, but it's coming out on Valentine's Day. What couple is going to see that fucking movie? They're either going to see Birds of Prey that comes out the week before because you might be dating like an edgy artistic chick that's into that, or you're going to see a rom-com or something like that. No one's going to go see Sonic. I don't know who's going to go see this on fucking Valentine's Day.
I hate to say it, and we all know about this. You know what movie that is? That's the movie where when you're 15, and if you're listening to this right now, pay attention, and you want to go to the movie where there's going to be no one in it so you can make out with your girlfriend in the back row. That's what Sonic the Hedgehog is.
Maybe get a hand job.
Yeah, under your hoodie. I don't know anything about that, but that is that movie this year. We're like, hey, we know the theater will be fucking empty, so let's go.
It does look better though, like
it does.
The graphics.
That doesn't mean it's going to be good.
I know it's just going to be a rough month for it to come out. The next 2, Jeff, I'm coming right after you. The first one is I don't know what the fuck Downey Jr.'s doing with his Doolittle movie.
I know.
That was one of mine.
Around Christmas. That movie should be coming out around Christmas or maybe Thanksgiving because you might get a bunch of stupid families that are like, oh, one person wants to see this, person wants to see this, but no one wants to see Doolittle, so let's all go see Doolittle because it seems like a family fun movie. But no one gives a fuck about Dr. Doolittle. What is up with him with doing Sherlock Holmes and shit that no one cares about anymore? Yeah. That's gonna bomb like crazy, and it looks like
I love Downey, and I want him to do more stuff like The Judge and do.
I know.
Like, come on, man, use your talents.
Like, how bad is his accent in the trailers for that too?
I don't even know what he's trying to do with it, and
I don't either.
And this is something that he thinks he can make 2 or 3 of, which scares the shit out of me. The last one, and I'm going to say
we'll be the judge of that. It's not up to him.
People think that we're in idiocracy right now because of a bunch of reasons. And I think it's going to stop in 2020. And with the movies surrounding it, let's see, we got Barbie, we got Greyhound, which is a Tom Hanks World War II movie. Of course, that's going to make a ton of money. And we got this movie, and then we got Wonder Woman 84 coming out. So I think finally people are going to say enough's enough. Paul Walker's dead. No one's going to see Fast 9. I think it's going to not do that well. It has, like, the only person they got coming back is fucking Lucas Black. If that's like your ace in the hole for this, I mean, who's going to go see that besides Jeff dragging his fucking fiance to it, who doesn't want to go because she thinks Lucas Black's name.
She hates Lucas Black, but it makes me like him even more.
Enough's enough with these fast movies. I think, and the audience is finally going to be like, you know what? There's a lot of movies coming out. It's coming out in May, which it was always a hot time for it. But I think there's other movies coming out in May. Then Wonder Woman comes out in early June, and that comes out the end of May. I think it's not going to do as well.
So you think box office wise, it's not going to do as well?
We got John Cena replacing The Rock. That's going to hurt at the box office.
I really think fans of the franchise are just going to be like, you know what? They should have just ended this when Paul was done. I think last movie was kind of the honeymoon period to be like, okay, let's see where they go with this without Paul. And they realized that Vin Diesel, what's he got really to offer? So I just think they're going to be done with it after this one. I don't think the trailer is going to look that good, and I don't think the story is going to look that good either. You got The Rock out, which brought a lot of people in. Paul Walker's, he died. And Vin Diesel is just not a box office draw. And you're bringing back Lucas Black and then John Cena?
Well, they got Charlize Theron and Helen Mirren, which will help a little bit.
Who's going to be coming in 10? The Undertaker and Hacksaw Jim Duggan? You're just going to keep going down the WWE roster to find people?
I will say this, though. They did bring back Justin Lin, who has directed all the good ones in this series. I
also think it's going to do, like Mulan, it's going to do really good in China and Japan.
Yeah, but I'll touch back on what Geiger said a little bit later. It is an interesting point.
Every franchise hits a low point after a while where audiences are just like, dude, Rocky did it, everyone, and we're on 9. It has to happen.
And say what you want about The Rock, but dude, he puts butts in seats.
He does.
It's a proven methodology.
Okay, I'm done with flops. Those are my 3.
All right. I would expect nothing less than that from you. That was terrific. Banner, your biggest flop.
So I too, one of mine was going to be Doolittle as well. We've already talked about that. And my other one, if this movie even actually gets fucking made, is Uncharted. It's based on the video game.
Tom Holland?
Yeah.
Is Nathan
Tom
Drake?
Tom Holland is going to be in it. But the other main character, his name is Sully. There were a lot of names attached to it at one point, but pretty sure Mark Wahlberg is going to play him.
Yeah,
and that is going to be fucking awful. It's going to be the biggest shit show you've ever seen.
Oh, we're looking for Barry's treasure, okay? What? Why are you doing pull-ups on that cave? We actually need to go. Just one more set.
Stop trying to make movies off of video games. It's not going to fucking work again after Tomb Raider. And Tomb Raider barely even fucking worked.
Let's just give Justin Lin's Mortal Kombat a shot, and then I'm willing to declare that idea dead. Because that actually sounds pretty bad. He's making an R-rated Mortal Kombat in 2021.
I was going to say, that's coming out in 2021, right?
Yeah. No, trust me, that already would have been mentioned.
Now.
What?
Can I just go pay for it now?
Yeah.
Get my ticket 2021?
Banner's like, it's coming out in 2021, right? I was like, well, if it was coming out in 2020, you would have heard it in most anticipated. Trust me. Banner, those are all... I would be shocked if you're wrong about any of those, sadly. I just don't think there's a... Doolittle, every time it plays in theaters, I was at theaters today and it played, people just groan. They're like,
Jeff, I can't remember if I read yours. Is anyone going to bring up the G.I. Joe movie?
No, I didn't know that was happening this year.
There's supposed to be a Snake Eyes movie that's just like his origin story that connects to the G.I. Joe universe.
Cool. I'd rather have a
ball need to say that that's not going to do well? Or is that just a given?
That's implicit. Banner, you got any other ones?
Who's wasting their money making these movies?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hasbro is so desperate. Hasbro, though, did say they wanted to cross over G.I. Joe with Transformers. That's the dumbest fucking idea I've ever heard. Let me know when the release date is. I'll buy
I see that.
All in on that.
I'll be like, that's so stupid. Will it be in 3D? Will it be in IMAX? I thought you just said it was stupid. Just answer the question, please. Cycly mentioned, obviously, Sonic the Hedgehog, and then he said a movie he's been going back and forth on is that Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. Now, the only reason I think that will be funny is because it's written and directed by Taika Waititi, who, after what he did in the Mandalorian finale with Jojo Rabbit, with Thor Ragnarok, I mean, this dude is like a savant. He's a genius. So I'm not saying it'll be good, but until he gives me a reason to doubt him, I can't. But I get it. Free Guy looks polarizing.
I think it's gonna be good.
I think it'll be
It looks fine.
the
I'm a
concept
big
is
Ryan Reynolds guy, though.
the concept is funny. Like a non-playable character in a video game realizing he's like in a video game where he never gets to do anything. It's kind of interesting.
It's gonna be harmless.
Yeah. No, I think he'll do some harm. He'll do some damage. All right, my biggest flop of 2020. This first movie we've been trying to say would be the biggest flop of the year for 3 fucking straight years, but Fox could not get it released, and so I still, for the 3rd year, am saying allegedly on April 3rd, Marvel will finally release the Fox-produced and made New Mutants movie.
There is a trailer, so...
Yeah, there was one in October of 2018.
Yeah.
And Fox pushed it back and pushed it back and reshot it and pushed it back and then sold the X-Men. So I guarantee you Disney was like, you guys just want to keep this? There was rumors for a long time they would just drop it on Hulu, which I'm still surprised isn't happening. But
it's got a great recipe for a flop, Jeff, because it's a franchise that just got sold, so it's not going to lead to anything. It casts a Game of Thrones actress, so that's always known to flop. And it's X-Men, so the last 3 haven't done so well.
Yeah, this is, and also I don't think since Disney didn't pay for it, like, will they even give a shit and try to market this?
I don't think so.
They didn't spend the money to make it. I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna drop on. I don't think it's gonna be a wide release.
That's why I still think they'll drop it on Hulu because Disney's like, do we really want to pay to distribute this to like 1,200 theaters? No, let's just drop it on Hulu or Disney.
No, drop it on Hulu and just pump the shit out of it on Hulu. Shove it down our throats like Netflix does.
Put it on there with ads. Fuck, there you go.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
Problem solved. My next one, just to continue the trend of shitting on Vin Diesel, he decided to say, hey, I'm not just about Fast and Furious movies. And he is doing the comic book film Bloodshot, coming out in the dumping ground for movies February 21st. I saw the trailer for this thing. Looks absolutely horrible. I cannot wait to not go see it. Bloodshot.
I saw that on my list too. I was like, but why? Why are we doing this?
I'm more than Dom Toretto, but you're not, though. All right, those are our biggest flops. Now, honorable mentions. I'll go with Cycles first. I have a couple things I want to mention, but I'll probably let you guys jump in between. So Cycles' dad is probably the biggest James Bond fan that I know. He's read almost all of the novels. He loves like the gadgetry, especially like dating back to Sean Connery. He's like a connoisseur of the world, and that genetically has been passed on to Cycles. And I actually think Bond 25, No Time to Die, does look pretty fucking good. We have Remy Malek. He's playing the villain. Christoph Waltz is returning. Ana de Armas is back. And this is obviously Daniel Craig's last Bond movie. And Cycles said that he's just glad that Daniel Craig sort of re-legitimized the role. Because obviously the way Pierce Brosnan's movies ended, they just kept getting more. He only made one good one in GoldenEye. Right? All the other ones are pretty shitty.
Die Another Day wasn't bad.
I thought Tomorrow Never Dies was okay. I didn't really like Die Another Day. And then The World Is Not Enough is one of the worst movies of all time.
That is god-awful.
But Cycles just said he's excited for No Time to Die. Daniel Craig's last Bond, Bond 25. This is just one that is a very safe bet. There's no way you'll walk out of that movie and be like, well, that sucked. Right? All right. Geiger, how about you? Any honorable mentions, good or bad?
Yeah, the DCU. So, according to Rotten Tomatoes website, we have, of course, the Harley Quinn movie coming out in February. That's booked. That's already done. That's coming out. We have a Cyborg movie coming out, and we have a Green Lantern movie coming out this year in 2020.
I thought Green Lantern was going to become... Green Lantern, I last heard, was going to be a show on HBO.
It was on the list, and this was done like a couple weeks ago, that they're still having Green Lantern come out at like in August, July-ish.
Who's Green Lantern?
Cyborg. The Green Lantern Corps.
Okay, so who's in the movie?
It says they're auditioning for roles or something.
Okay, well, if it's supposed to come out in 7 months and they're still auditioning...
That's what it said on there, and I'm just wondering, is a Cyborg movie coming out?
I heard they pushed that, too.
Yeah, I think they pushed that, too.
His Flashpoint, I think, is the next solo, quote-unquote.
So
DC
DCU only has Harley Quinn coming out in 2020
and Wonder Woman.
and Wonder Woman. Okay.
But they're both not connected. They said Wonder Woman's sequel takes place in like an alternate timeline, and Birds of Prey is like a spiritual sequel.
Okay, so Wonder Woman 84, wouldn't it be easy to be like, this is the same timeline, but it's 20 years before everything happens, so it doesn't really need to connect that much? But these movies aren't even connecting now. Like,
Correct.
once again, why do you guys even do this? Like, why are we even doing this?
Good question. For what it's worth, I think Wonder Woman 84 looks good.
I think it will be good. I think Birds of the Prey will be absolutely fucking god-awful. I really do. However, I think it will make some money because in February, there's not really anything else to go see.
There's that Vin Diesel movie.
Yeah, Bloodshot, dude. I just mentioned it. Come on, show a little fucking
you
respect.
See Bloodshot, I guess.
I'm in it, so that works, right?
Vin,
That's all
would you see Bloodshot? No, not in a million years.
No,
I'd rather see Sonic.
I want to see Birds of Prey. It's about family. I'm about family.
Can we say the full title? Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of the Fantabulous Harley Quinn, or whatever it's supposed to be.
I got tired and disinterested all at the same time while you were reading that. No, I don't even see it.
Two things I want to mention quickly. A Quiet Place 2 comes out March 20th, directed by John Krasinski. This one is flying really under the radar. It should come out in Halloween. We all agree, but the last one didn't. And the first one, did either of you guys see it? I know Cycly and I did the review.
See it on TV. It's good.
Yeah, it's... So I'm interested with this, with where they go.
I watched like 2/3 of it while Mrs. Banner was watching it. So I got bits and pieces.
So the way the first one ended, it's kind of... I'm intrigued by where this thing goes. And then a movie called Infinite coming out in August stars Mark Wahlberg. It is directed by Antoine Fuqua, who's awesome. He did The Equalizer and Training Day. And this is the description for this movie says, a man learns the visions he's been having are actually memories of his past lives. So if Mark Wahlberg takes this shit seriously, and he should because we have Antoine Fuqua, Infinite is something that I think could be an under-the-radar good movie.
Wahlberg is like Jameis Winston to bet on these shows. You can either get the 30 touchdown or the 30 interception. You never know what you're going to get with Wahlberg.
Right. There's no in between. It's one of the two. Banner, any honorable mentions?
Yeah, one that I'm excited about in a weird way is Halloween Kills. I like the last one that they did, and I'm ready for them to make 9 more that they're going to then ignore in 40 more years.
We all liked the new Halloween, right?
The new one I thought was fantastic.
I don't think it really warranted a sequel, and now they're saying that the granddaughter's going to be crazy. But whatever.
Geiger, if you didn't want a sequel, you shouldn't have paid to see it, because that's how this works.
Women are scary too, Jeff. Get over yourself. It's 2020.
Good one, Banner. I actually forgot that was coming out. And thank God it is coming out around Halloween.
Makes sense.
How do we have to worry about that? You got anything else? It has
Halloween in its title. And what is this? Tom and Jerry? I'm literally doing research like on the fly here, but
it's animated. But yeah, it's
all right.
That's happening.
Okay, so that'll be
a few other quick ones I'll mention, and then I have a bold prediction. Disney Plus, Falcon and Winter Soldier series. I'm really excited for that. They're bringing back Zemo. They're bringing back Agent 13. Emily Van Camp's character takes place after Endgame. Looks pretty interesting. I still want a release date on Kenobi on Disney Plus. I don't think we're going to get that in 2020, but we are getting the next season of The Mandalorian. And then a movie on Netflix, a Netflix original that I believe comes out in March. It's called Red Notice. It has Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot. And not much is known about the plot, but Deadline describes it as my favorite type of movie, a globe-trotting heist thriller. So Red Notice, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, that's the same person. I mean, it sounded like it was 2 different people. Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot. I mean, yeah.
And that's Netflix?
Yep, and I'm going to have to leave my couch.
The Rock's only in 3 movies this year. Huh, must be taking some time off.
Is everything okay at home, Dwayne Johnson?
He's focusing on his tequila brand.
Yeah. As Urban Meyer would say, that he's focusing
on his... That must mean he's going to make an appearance at WrestleMania. That's cool.
All right, I have 2 things I want to say real quickly before we move on to protein shakes. So 2020 will put Elizabeth Banks's bitch and moan fest to the test because superhero movies coming out, there are 3 of them that are female led. We have Black Widow, Wonder Woman 84, and Birds of Prey. So if these things make over like $400 million, then what the fuck's she gonna say? Because I, as a man, plan on seeing 2 of these in theaters. So, how do you explain that?
That I'm just gonna delete the tweet and hopefully everyone just kind of forgets about it.
Yeah, that usually tends to work. Ask James Gunn how successful that is. Then the last thing, my bold prediction, this kind of ties into Geiger's mentioning about Fast 9. I told Banner this off pod. I think this will be the first year in a long time that not a single movie makes over $1 billion. The only 2 that I think have an outside shot are King Kong vs. Godzilla or Fast and Furious 9, and I don't think either is going to happen. So this will be the first year in a while that nothing will cross the $1 billion mark. You guys think that has a shot to happen or no?
I think.
Man, Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, I don't.
Be like the biggest one.
I don't know.
Don't sleep on Kong vs. Godzilla with that Chinese box office, but I still don't think it's going to hit $1 billion.
Yeah. That's probably about it, man. For the big budget ones. Top Gun?
I don't think Top Gun will hit a billion.
The problem with that is like it's a 35-year-old sequel. Like I know we know about it, but you got to get legs like that. It's got to be an IP that people are like, oh shit, I gotta go see that.
I don't know. I think I can't think of anything that will prove that wrong.
Fast 9, I think, has the best shot. Just because.
What Fast 8 make?
It made over $1 billion, but Hobbs and Shaw didn't even come close, I don't think.
Hobbs and Shaw made like, what, 300, 400 million?
I can't. Yeah, it wasn't even like sniffing it. I don't know. We'll see. Vin Diesel. We might have Vin Diesel fatigue too after everybody goes to see Bloodshot in February.
No shit. You know? Maybe it'll connect somehow.
Probably will. Makes total sense. All right. On to our protein shake, where we go around and talk about what's in our cup, also known as what have we watched lately. I have 2.5 things. Geiger, how about you? Do you have your just traditional 1 or 2, but they're big?
Yeah, I got 1. We just did a show like a couple days ago.
Yeah, that's true. Although when people are listening to this, who knows what day it is. Banner, how about you? How many you got?
I have just a couple. Pretty light load this week.
Banner, why don't you go first?
Okay. So,
weird voice.
That was very weird. I'm sorry.
Sound like you own an Italian deli. Okay, yay.
Yeah. So, I watched the live action Dumbo movie. Guys, how is it that fucking bad? Like I knew it was gonna be bad, but that bad. Colin Farrell is the best worst actor I've decided. He's a bad actor, but he's really good at it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Danny DeVito was good, but Michael Keaton was really bad also.
Yeah. How his hair prosthetic looked horrible in the trailers.
I couldn't even get like his like French accent that he tried to do.
Ew.
It is. Is
horrendous. He the ringmaster of the circus?
No, that's Danny DeVito. He's like the guy that tries to buy Dumbo and put him in his own show.
Did they do anything with the racist crows?
They're just not in it.
Okay, are there any Batman puns? Like kind of a little nudge with DeVito and Keaton are. Oh damn! No. I thought Burton would just be like, just in case y'all forgot.
It was very weirdly shot too. It was like they used CGI and or mocap where they shouldn't have.
Who else is in that I would is there like a female actress in it, or is it just a little girl who's
yeah, what is her name? Give me 2 seconds, I'll pull it up here. Ava Green.
Oh yeah, I love Ava Green.
Yeah. Alan Arkin is in it also, and he's fine too. He's pretty good, but Colin Farrell had a terrible like southern accent too. But it was like,
why can't Colin Farrell just talk normal?
Why couldn't Farrell be like the French dudes? He's from Europe, and then fucking have Keaton be the southerner. That would make more sense, wouldn't it?
I don't know, but it was.
And then have Danny DeVito just not be in it.
Yeah.
I'm willing to say Tim Burton's dead.
Oh, dude, we've talked about this on the pod. That guy's
Like,
been buried and like he's got daisies growing out of the grave. He has not made a good movie in like almost a decade.
Do you know how many times Hollywood, like, there's people that get tricked into this? They're like, dude, is Tim Burton and Michael Keaton DeVito together again? That's like Batman. I got to see this movie. Just like Doolittle has Tom Holland in it. People are like, man, that's Iron Man and Spider-Man. Yeah, let's go see that movie. I'm like, but they're not Iron Man and Spider-Man in the movie, and the movie looks terrible.
Right. And this is not, I'm not making this comparison at all because Christopher Nolan is he shits a better movie right now than Tim Burton's made in the past decade. But it is a what have you done for me lately business because Geiger always gets mad that every Christopher Nolan movie that comes out, like Interstellar, Inception, Dunkirk, it all says from the director of the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
He's like, that was 11 years ago, dude.
No shit.
He's like, no, that's not. It's not apples to apples, but like Tim Burton, what do you put up? Like from the guy who did Batman Returns and The Nightmare Before Christmas, like some of us were still shitting our pants when those movies are popular. Like you gotta.
Hollow.
It's like if your resume is all like 15-year-old jobs. It's like, well, what have you done lately?
I didn't realize he directed Mars Attacks.
Of course he did.
Like, I don't know why that surprises me. It's
like now that I think about it, is like the most Tim Burton movie ever.
Yeah.
All right, what else?
Getting about halfway through the second season of Lost in Space.
That looked really. So I didn't watch the first season, but the trailer for the second one looked badass.
So
I thought it was a movie because it said Lost in Space 2.
It's just like second season.
Okay.
I don't know why. Yeah, it does say 2, but I don't know why because it's the same fucking thing. I enjoyed the first season. This second season, they have upped the stakes, and everybody except for one actress got better in their acting. And one who was already a really bad actress, she's still a really bad actress, in my opinion.
All right. That's a turd.
Yep, I'm halfway through it, and like I said, I'm really enjoying it. I also watched The Mandalorian.
Budget looked really high. Sorry to interrupt you. The production budget looked really good from the trailer. Like,
yeah, the CGI is movie quality. I mean, they didn't pull any punches at all.
Like some of the environments looked unreal, and then the robot, obviously, who I'm assuming they make him seem like a big part of the show. Obviously, the Danger Will Robinson line is like what it's famous for. But
yes, he is. He is a major component of the plot. Him and his, I guess, race of robots, you could say, are the whole reason that the show is the show.
I'm very interested.
Yeah. And then last thing I watched was High School Musical, the series.
Okay, let's do this.
Yep. This is
episode
8. All right.
So the tech rehearsal. Now, when I first started watching this, I thought it was the season finale. I'm relieved to see that it was not.
Yes, because this is the worst episode of the season.
Agreed.
Right, Geiger?
He's microwaving something.
I'm baking right now while you guys are talking about that. I could really care less.
He actually is. If you're at home, he's moved his iPad into the kitchen and he's making like vegetables.
EJ is the biggest piece of shit.
What has happened? So
history of EJ.
His character, I don't know if this happened like through the organic process of writing this season, but he started off as a legitimate foil to Ricky, and I thought it was going to create some interesting tension. Now he's just a total fucking slapstick joke of a human being. Like, what happened there?
I don't know. And I think he's an awful actor as well. Like at first, I thought it was just how he was written.
Mute your thing or something. We're trying to talk High School Musical, the series here. He needs to just show us a little respect.
Sorry, what? Is it my turn yet?
No, can you mute your while you're
distracting the fans.
Okay, sorry.
This is like the viewership is going up exponentially. Well, I wanted to ask you, Banner, how did you feel? We had discussed earlier if we were going to get a cameo from any of the actors from the movie, and we got one. And Ryan is about the level that I thought would show up for this show. So I'll ask you questions twofold. Number one, how did that play with you? Because it was obviously all tongue in cheek. And then two, do you think we'll get a bigger cameo possibly in the finale? Maybe like a Hudgens, a Tisdale. I don't think we'll get Efron, but maybe one of those two.
I don't think we'll get Efron. I think we have a shot at getting Corbin Bleu.
Okay.
I think Vanessa Hudgens won't show up either. She's got some other shit going on. We might get a Tisdale. I don't know. But I am fine with the cameo, but I hated the fact that he got on the original song. He didn't earn that. Miss Jen earned it. Carlos earned it. These people are earning their original songs. He did not earn it. You're like the 8th billed person on the High School Musical 3 cast. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I kind of liked it because they played it for laughs. It was pretty funny to me.
I don't know.
To me, it was the high point in a bad episode. So still not like above the Mendoza line. It was still pretty shitty overall. But we're eight of the 10 episodes in. Like, I'm pot committed. We can't jump ship now.
He also didn't age well. Ryan.
No.
He looks rough.
After I saw him,
he was rode hard and hung up wet.
After I saw him, I was like, I'm gonna go to the gym and work out.
Yeah. Last thing on cast, Nene wants to fuck Ricky so bad.
Oh my god, dude, she's so horny. It hurts me to watch.
Yeah, it's like making me unhorny because she's stealing all the horny away.
Right. It's like she's sucking the horniness force out of us. And I mean, they're obviously gonna get together, right? Like, there's no way they don't.
I don't know. I have a theory where they don't.
Does it involve Gina staying?
It does.
Wow.
But Ricky doesn't get with Gina either.
I'm interested.
Okay. You want that now, or we want to go through a couple other things?
Lay it on me real quick.
Okay.
I want to let Geiger, he's had to sit through.
Ricky is not going to get with Nene or Gina, because Gina is going to end up living with Nene so that she can finish the show and they can finish out the year together.
How would that keep Ricky from fucking Gina, though? That'd be like the ultimate slap in the face to Nene. He would totally
because he still cares about Nene. But he cares about Gina also. He's just a good guy.
He is. He's a good dude. He's got his own shit to deal with. I still think Ricky moves away at the end of the season to be with his mom.
Maybe.
All right, now who does Miss Jen hook up with? The robotics teacher or Ricky's dad?
Oh, man.
Or neither?
I think she has more chemistry with Ricky's dad, but I think she's going to fuck the chemistry teacher first.
Yeah. I could see that.
She might have already an argument.
That night they stayed at the school. Who knows?
Maybe. I mean, they definitely did off camera.
I don't think anyone's going to fuck on camera in High School Musical the series, but I've been wrong before. All right, anything else you want to say?
No, that's it. I laughed really hard at the end of the song when Carlos just slapped the shit out of Miss Jen. I thought that was like the funniest thing ever. I could not stop laughing.
It's like way harder than you would need to wake someone up. Like he actually wanted to hurt her.
Yeah.
You watch anything else?
Nope, that was it.
All right, Geiger, let's turn you loose. What have you seen?
So yesterday, me and the wife went to a movie. I'm trying to cross off some of these December, January movies I really want to see. I wanted to see Queen and Slim, so I did that. Daniel Kaluuya, Jodie Turner-Smith. It's basically the modern day Bonnie and Clyde with the kind of modern day twist where they kill a cop. Depending on what you think about certain people, you might think it's the cop's fault. You might think it's their fault. That's up for interpretation. And it's got a kind of a cool cast. Fucking Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers is in this.
Oh yeah, I saw him in it.
And, is he like a big part in it?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. He's one of, I would say, the main 10 characters that plays a big role. He's kind of toward the last third of the movie. Now, the ending to this movie, modern day Bonnie and Clyde, but the ending felt like Devil's Rejects, Natural Born Killers ending. I haven't seen an ending like that for a while. I'm not saying that there's like a huge twist or anything. Just the way it was shot, the way it was acted and directed, I just felt it. It was really fucking cool and well done. And don't be surprised if this gets a little Oscar nom. Some of the, Kaluuya did a fucking fantastic job in this. The directing, the score in this banner is great. The music in it is fucking awesome. If you're a fan of hip hop or, kind of the chiller, what do they call that? It's not hip hop. It's like R&B.
R&B,
if you're a fan of that.
Yeah.
A lot of great music in this. Great movie, man. And if you see it and you don't agree with me, then you're racist. So.
That escalated quickly.
The trailer looked really intense. I was like, man, I'm interested in this, but I don't know if I could do it in the theaters. But if it has your blessing,
2 hours 12 minutes, should have been an hour 50, but it's fine. And dude, it's the story in it. Whenever they first, I won't give anything away, but whenever they first started, I'm like, huh, this isn't how I saw this movie going, just because I thought it was like modern day Bonnie and Clyde. But man, I fucking dug it, how they did it. And then the relationship between the actor and actress in this, Kaluuya and Smith, gets heavier as it goes, and you really start believing basically kind of what they're trying to paint. It's a very well done movie, for sure. Kaluuya doesn't make a bad movie, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either.
He's get out good in this. I'll say that.
Damn, high praise. Nice, dude. All right, I'm glad one of us saw this because I wanted to have. It's gonna be up for some Oscar noms, so when we do our Oscar preview show, now we have some representation to talk about it.
He's got Bombshell left to see. I'll hopefully cross that off this week.
That looks, yeah, I definitely would check that one out too. You see anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right, well, I'll keep the Broforce Squad seeing movies you don't expect us to see motif going. Today in theaters with the fiance, I saw Little Women, written and directed by Greta Gerwig. Dude, I actually really liked it.
Cast is pretty good.
The cast is really good. Emma Watson, Florence Pugh, Laura Dern, Saoirse Ronan, who obviously won an Academy Award for Brooklyn. And so I'll say two things. One, Geiger's going to agree with completely because we've been beating down this actress for a long time, and it's just time that we buried her physically and metaphorically. But this movie, Timothy Chalamet's in it. He's pretty good, but this is not the type of film that you would think on the surface that I would like. But when you go in and it does not have this political message it's trying to beat over your head, it's just trying to tell you a period piece story with really, really good actors and characters that are fun to watch and that you care about, it's so much more enjoyable. And that's what Greta Gerwig did here. It's based on the book, obviously. And the way that the story is told, it's through 7-year time differences. Like it shows this family 7 years ago and we'll keep cutting to them present day. And things happen, like people have changed and relationships have changed. Some people have even passed away. And you learn that stuff through the flashbacks, as opposed to like in modern day, they're like, oh, so-and-so's dead. And it was just a really cool way to tell a story. It's a tough book to translate to a script, but I thought Greta Gerwig did a really, really good job. Now, the actress who needs to go away, because when she's in this movie, I'm like, you cannot box with these people anymore, and I'm fucking sick of looking at you. And she's done a lot in the past, but those days are long gone, and that's Meryl Streep.
Wow.
Who's in this film, and every time she's on screen, she's getting outclassed by all these young actresses. She has nothing to offer the modern film goer anymore. That's what I'll say.
Is she going to get nominated for this, though? Because she's her?
We just lost all of our LGBTQ subscribers.
No, because Florence Pugh is unreal in this. She was great in Midsommar. I can't wait to see her in Black Widow. Emma Watson's incredible in this. Laura Dern, the Laura Dern-assance. She was awesome in Marriage Story as Scarlett Johansson's lawyer. She's fucking great in this. Meryl Streep just shows up like because she wants to be like respected in acting, and she doesn't have her fastball anymore. She doesn't have her off-speed stuff anymore. I mean, everyone else in this movie way outclassed her, and I'm sick of looking at her because I know the baggage that comes with it, and whether I agree with her political views or not, like I know that's the only reason she's in this movie, so she can show up to the Golden Globes or the Oscars and talk about this stuff. Whereas the other people are actually in it because they're like, I can give something to this film, and Meryl Streep added nothing to this. And it's too bad because there were some great fucking performances in this, and like she's first billed and she's in like 15-20 minutes of it. I'm off my soapbox. I really did like Little Women though. I think it would be a hilarious commentary if we ever did one, but it was a good movie, I have to say. One other thing I watched. So last week I saw It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, the quote unquote Mr. Rogers biopic that has Mr. Rogers in it for 15 minutes. Well, my mom and I were still really interested in the story of Mr. Rogers, so we saw the documentary that came out 2 years ago called Won't You Be My Neighbor? And still did not really give me what I wanted. It's mainly just about his show, and not about him as a person. Because there's this whole like urban legends about Mr. Rogers that he was really fake, that he wasn't really that nice. And then all the stuff about he was possibly a Marine or a sniper that had like a bunch of tattoos and had committed like heinous murders in the Vietnam War. And that stuff is really just glossed over. And also there was a bunch of rumors that he had really bad relationships with his kids, his two kids. And his two sons are in it, but they only talk about him like they only go to them like twice in interviews. So it was mainly about his show, hardly even touches on his death or his personal life, which I still really want to know more about. So if someone out there knows of a documentary or something that talks about him as a person, because this is just making me more suspicious. Like, why is no one fucking talking about who he actually
was? That was back in the day, though, Jeff, when everyone was so naive. Now, like, us growing up in the 90s, like, when they say Steve from Blue's Clues, like, touched little kids, we're like, yeah, probably, dude. I don't know. He's fucking weird. He's on Blue's Clues. We just expect it now. Back in the day, though, they were like, no, Mr. Rogers, no, absolutely not.
Right.
The same with Cosby.
And I'm not saying that I want to tear him down and ruin him. I just want some of these questions answered. I mean, it just seems...
At the end of the day, does it... Like, I mean, if people think he's a bad guy, does it really matter? Like, at the end of the day, if he treats his kids like shit?
I'm not sitting here saying that this is like this is the foundation with which my childhood's built on. Some other people might feel more strongly about it than I do, but it just seems... I don't want to say weird because I don't want to make like a conspiracy theory out of it, but I've seen a biopic on him and an hour and a half documentary, and his personal life has just been weirdly glossed over. It's just kind of frustrating. Like, I want to know who he was. I really want one of his kids to talk shit about him is what I want.
Last time someone wanted to know more, we got the Happy Valley incident with Sandusky. So
yeah, but were they winning bowl games?
Be careful what you wish for.
That is true. All right, on to the last part of our show. Banner, do you have a question you want to ask?
Yo, brah. Yo, brah. That one felt good. Did it sound good? Or is it as shitty as all the other ones?
No, you got a good microphone. That was good. That is our Do You Even Lift Brah segment where we dig up a question from around the internet and read it on our show. Our show today comes to us from, this is a tough name to say on air, N_EGGER at NEGGER069799672. This might be a burner account because he didn't have a profile picture, but I did want to talk about this. He asks, who is the most successful actor/actress from Twilight? And I actually didn't know this last guy was in it, but this is now a pretty impressive list. Robert Pattinson, Kristen Stewart, or Rami Malek? Geiger. I didn't know Malek was in Twilight, but I can see him definitely playing a vampire.
So me bringing up Queen and Slim and then you reading this guy's Twitter handle, it's pretty much a wash now. So good job, Jeff.
I spelled it purposely to avoid.
Anyway, since Kristen Stewart shaved her head again and is in that stupid water movie that I can't believe Banner didn't bring up for most anticipated, because that is his type of movie right there. A stupid underwater movie.
And it's literally called Underwater. How fucking cool is that?
With some demon underneath the 7 miles of the ocean or whatever. I'm going to pick Robert Pattinson because I'm just going to look into the future here with 2020, man. Like, Hollywood is going to do him a service because they want the Batman to be good and they want a lot of people to see it. So he's getting cast with some pretty, like, gushy fucking roles with great directors, great cast around them. I'm guessing they have a great script. If he has 2 movies that hit this year, I mean, he's going to be, what, Jeff? Probably top 10, top 15 in Hollywood, especially he's going to be the Batman.
He's got the runway there, and, I mean, I just don't see how he fails in 2020.
He's going to be the next Hemsworth is what he's going to be. He's going to be the next Hemsworth.
Better, dude. Better because he'll actually have, like, a resume that doesn't just say Batman. You know, well, and
he can actually like act and do really good like drama roles and
he's a good actor.
He is a good actor. I think I'm just gonna jump in here and I'll answer the question. I would pick him as well because I think he's the best actor. He's also made the most money. If you look at all their net worths, which I just did, he's worth $100 million. Stewart's worth $70 million, and Malik's only worth $8 million. Found that interesting.
Well, he's only made the most money, Banner, because Kristen Stewart's a woman and men don't go see women-led films. So why don't you read a paper?
I'll jump in real quick. Geiger, kind of an aside. Have we seen any update on that Chris Hemsworth Hulk Hogan biopic?
No. I tried to look that up for 2020. And I couldn't. The only thing I've read is the stuff I already read.
Okay, so I'll say this. Right now, Remy Malek is in the lead because he's won an Academy Award. Or it was a Golden Globe. I can't remember. Did he win the Oscar?
Alec?
Yeah, I think he did.
I think so.
But if Vegas is taking bets on the second half line, Pattinson's going to pass him this year. But as of right now, it's Remy Malek is in the lead, but it is not safe at all, especially looking at what they have coming out. Even if he's the greatest Bond villain of all time, Pattinson's going to lap him in 2020.
What's weird about Pattinson is we all agree he's a great actor, but I think we all agree that he hasn't been in anything that we actually liked, like just movie-wise. He hasn't been in anything where I'm like, man, I want to see that. Yeah, I think this year will change. But
I want to see The Lighthouse with him and Willem Dafoe. I might try to check that out before the end of the year. But I've heard it's like really, really weird, which is probably his shit isn't very accessible lately. Like it's not stuff that like a lot of people want to and can go see. But 2020 is the year he's going to really explode if he hasn't already. All right, before we leave the people for our 98th episode, any parting thoughts, Geiger? You can go first.
2020 is going to be the year of the Bro Force Squad, also with Robert Pattinson. We're just going to jump on his back.
He might join the podcast. I'll DM him. He probably responds to that. Banner, what do you want to leave the people with?
Just please pull over for emergency vehicles.
Yeah, all year. We don't want to have. We will, but we don't want to have to keep reminding you every week. All right.
I'm going to.
Yeah, do the right thing.
Mainly because this is my thing now.
Yep. For the mad scientist, Brian Banner, our enforcer in the paint, Matt Geiger, our Force Ghost legal counsel, Ronnie Cycli, I'm the mayor, Jeff Hornacek, and we are the Bro Force Squad podcast. Thank you guys so much for checking us out. We look forward to an awesome 2020 at the movies with you. Follow us on Twitter at Bro Force Squad. Subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. If you type in Bro Force Squad as 3 separate words, you'll find us there. Type those same 3 words into letterboxd.com to see all of our reviews. Check out all of our content on our website, broforcesquad.com. And at the top of our website, there is a survey link. If you could fill that out and let us know what parts of our show kick ass and what parts you want to see changed, we will give you a shout out on our next episode. Till then, we'll see you at the movies. TJ Miller is in Underwater, so that's probably the last thing he did before they shipped him off to prison.
I didn't know. Jeff, I bet if we tweeted Meryl Streep right now that we have 3,000 subscribers and she could come on and just talk about political views, she'd be on our next show.